Okay, hello and welcome back again friends to my YouTube channel. So as we know that we were discussing a swing trading strategy with the insider data that is available on the NSC's website. So as you have seen that in this is the part 3 in this series, and hopefully we will complete this whole analysis in this part. Okay, so as you have seen that till the part 2 of the video I have completed the analysis till the goldium stock. So let's just not waste much more time and start with the next stock in the list. So as you can see, the next stock in the list is dollar. So you know the process. We will copy down this. We will go to the NSC's website. We will go to the corporate announcement section, as you can see right here. Next we will go to the view all. Next we have to go to the insider trading tab right here. You don't have to follow these steps, you can just directly click on the link that I have shared in the description box below. It will directly redirect you to this page of the NSC's website. Okay, so now once we have reached this page, we will copy down the dollar name here. Okay, we see Dollar Industries Limited. We'll click on this. Next we will click on the symbol of dollar. Okay, now the next step is to scroll down and go to the corporate information corporate information section of the dollar company. Okay, next what we have to check, let me quickly recap what 4 things we have to check to successfully complete the insider trading strategy. The first one to check is shareholding pattern. And the lower bound for that is that I will consider is 50%. Again, it's a flexible strategy, so you can change the value a little bit. You can keep it 45, 40% or whatever suits you the best. Next thing is SAST regulations. In SAST regulations, we will try to see that whether any institutional investor like the mutual fund or any hedge fund or any promoter or promoter groups have sold the stock or have reported the selling of the stock in the past 6 months. Next, we will check that the promoter encumbrance details. In that, what we have to check is that whether there has been any pledging of shares done. For as per my rule, I will want that there should be 0% pledging of the shares. There should not be any pledging. Again, you can alter this percentage a little bit, like you can keep it as 3%, 4%, 5%, or whatever you seem fit. But for my analysis, I will keep it as 0% only. If it fails to pass that parameter, then I'll discard that stock. The last one is the last and the optional one is the financial results. You may or you may not want to check. I may sometimes check the financial results or I may not. That means I will, so in the financial results, we have to check the earnings per share. And as per my rule, the earnings per share should be at least 0 or should be a positive number. It can be very small positive number, but the condition is that it should be positive. Again, this is an optional criteria. If you want to ignore this criteria, you can, but if you are a conservative investor, then I would suggest that you take the earnings per share into consideration. Okay, so let's start the analysis with the dollar symbol. Okay, so as we can see, the financial results is positive, so it fits into that. Let's next check the promoter encumbrance. Promoter encumbrance shows that 0% pledging of share is done. Next we have on the list is SAST regulation. Okay, as you can see, on 31 August 2020, Binay Kumar Gupta has reported a selling of this much quantity. So it fails this criteria as there has been a selling reported in the last 6 months. The last 6 months should be considered from the day we are doing the analysis. As we have started doing the analysis since 19th or 20th of September, so I will calculate the uh, past 6 months from 19th or 20th September. Okay, So as you can see, it fails the criteria because on 31 August 2020 there has been a selling reported. So let me just go ahead and color code it as red. Next on the list is Shri. Let me copy it down. Okay. I'll again move back to the corporate filing insider trading tab. I will paste the company name here. So the full form is Shri Pushkar Chemicals and Fertilizers Limited. I'll click on the company name here. Then I'll click on the symbol name you can see here. Okay. Next what we have to do is I'll go to the corporate informations tab. Next, I will check the shareholding pattern. As you can see, the shareholding pattern is greater than 50%. So it passes this criteria. Next is SAS regulation. As you can see, our 6 months would be somewhere around 19 or 20th of March. So as you can see, the selling has been reported on 7 January 2020. After that, there has been no selling reported. So this passes the criteria as there has been no selling reported in the last 6 months. So the next tab I will go to is promoter encumbrance details. As you can see, there is 0% pledging done in this share. So it passes this criteria too. Next one, the last one is the optional criteria or parameter you can say to check the financial results. As you can see, earnings per share is positive number. It's 0.05. So it passes all the four criterias. So next what we have to do is we will download the insider trading report of 3 months. You can select the time frame from here. I'll download the insider trading report of this Shri Push company only of 3 months. You can click the download button here and it will start the download of an Excel file. So I'll go ahead and open this Excel file. Okay, so it has opened. Now what filters we have to apply here? If you have seen the previous two videos you would know, but let me just quickly recap it. First, let me widen the columns of category of persons and mode of acquisitions. Okay, so what we want is we want only those data points in which the promoters or promoter groups have made a position in this company through market purchase only. From where we could check these promoters or promoter groups, we can check in the category of persons column, and the mode of acquisition will show us through which medium did they purchase the share. This should only be market purchase, or sometimes we could consider the interstate transfer, nothing else than that. And in the category of person, there should only be promoters or promoter groups, nobody else like director, relatives, others, employees, no one else, only promoters and promoter groups. Okay, so as we can see in this symbol, only promoters have bought through market purchase. So the next aim of our analysis would be to calculate the average price at which the the promoters made a the promoters made a position in this stock. So so let me just apply the sum function here and I'll calculate the total number of securities and I'll just drag it down to the total value of security. To reach at the average price at which the promoters have made a position, what we have to do is that divide the value of securities, total value of securities, by total number of securities. So let me just go ahead and do it. Okay, so it comes to be 104. Let me, yeah, it comes to be 104.2 rupees approximately. So let me just go ahead in our insider trading master sheet here and color code it as green, as it has fulfilled every other criteria. So 104.3. Now let's check at that currently this Shri Push company is trading at what price point. So we can see right here that it's currently trading at 113.30. Now let me just quickly repeat this. I've also said this in the previous two parts, that we want to make a position in the stock at the closest to the average price at which the promoters have made the position in the stock. This is very crucial point. Also, it's always not possible to make the position at that exact price point, but we will consider a plus minus 3% range. So if it's in that range, plus minus 3% of average price at which promoters made a position, then we will go and check for the traded volume. If the traded volume is good, then we will quickly make a position in that stock. So we can easily calculate that whether this 100.30 falls in the range of plus minus 3% or not. If it does not fall in that range, then we should wait till the price comes down to 104 point, close to 104.30. Okay. Next step would okay, don't save. Okay, next on the list is DTIL. Let me just quickly copy it. I'll go to the NSC's website again. I will paste the name. It's Dhunseri Tea and Industries Limited. I'll click on the DTIL symbol. It will redirect us to the page of DTIL. Next, we have to scroll down and go to the corporate information section right here. Next, we will check the shareholding pattern. Shareholding pattern is greater than 50%, as you can see, passes the criteria. Next one is SAS regulation. Okay, as you can see, there has been no selling reported in the recent 6 months. Okay, so it passes this too. Next on the list is promoter encumbrance. Okay, there is 0% pledging, so it fulfills our this parameter too. Next one, the last one is an optional financial results. Okay, the earnings per share, the latest earnings per share is 18.66. That is a positive number. So it fulfills all the four criterias once again. So what we have to do next is we'll go into the corporate filings insider trading tab once again from here, as you can see. Now I will click on the 3 months time frame and I will download the insider trading report of DTIL only. Why I'm doing this? So as to reach to the average price at which the promoters have made a position in this stock. The price at which the promoters have made a position is very crucial to know. So as you can see, there is only one buying reported, that is by promoter and through market purchase. So no requirement of deletion of any rows. We'll just divide the total value of securities by total number of securities to arrive at the average price at which the promoters have made a position in this stock. So okay, as you can see, the average price is 247.5 rupees. So let's see at what current price it's trading. Okay, so it's 252.80. So you can easily calculate that whether it falls in the range of plus minus 3% or not. Okay, and if it falls in the plus minus 3%, then you can quickly add it into your swing trading watch list, and then check the it's very important to check the volume, the average traded volume of this stock. That is why we are checking the average traded volume, because if the average traded volume of the stock is very low, like 1000, 2000, or 5000, then it would be very risky to make a position in that stock, because it's quite possible that the stock manipulation could be going on there. So we should avoid that. If the average traded volume is too low, then we should avoid making a position in that stock. It's 247.5 rupees. Okay, now so next stock in the list is GANCOS. I'll copy it down. I'll go to the NSC's and corporate filing insider trading again. I'll paste the company name right here. It's Ganesh Ecosphere Limited. I'll click here I'll click on the symbol GANCOS right here. Okay, so it has loaded. Okay, now we'll go to the corporate information. Next I will check, let me first check the promoter encumbrance. Okay, 0% pledging here, as you can see. No pledging has been done. Let me check the SAS regulation. Okay, there has been no selling reported by any institutional investor in the recent 6 months. Okay, so it looks good. Next one is shareholding pattern. Okay, so shareholding pattern is less than 50%. So to fulfill our criteria, what we want is the shareholding of promoters and promoter groups should be greater than or at least equal to 50%. So it's less than that, so we'll just go ahead and paint it red. Okay, DTIL should be color coded as green. Okay, next on the list is SOBHA. We'll copy it down. We'll again go to the corporate filing insider trading. I will paste the company name right here. It's SOBHA Limited. Let me click on the symbol SOBHA right here. I'll go to the corporate information next. I will click on the shareholding patterns. So as you can see, the shareholding pattern is greater than 50%. So we will continue doing the analysis. Next, we will check the SAS regulations right here. And you can see there has been, Okay, so as you can see, there has been a reported selling on 16 April 2020 by L&T Mutual Fund, that is an institutional investor. So there has been a selling reported in the recent 6 months, so it fails our parameter, so we'll color code it as red. Next on the list is GSS. I'll copy it down. I will paste the company name here. It's GSS Infotech Limited. I'll click here. I will click on the symbol GSS right here, as you can see. Next, I will move on to corporate information. I'll check the shareholding pattern. Shareholding pattern is way too low than 50%. So it's good that we stop the analysis of this stock further and just color code it as red. Next is NRB bearing. Let me copy it down. I'll go to the company, I'll paste it here. NRB Bearing Limited. I'll click on this symbol NRB Bearing. Next, I will go to the corporate information. I'll check the shareholding pattern of promoter groups. Okay, so it's less than 50%. Now, some of you may have a lower bound on the shareholding of promoter and promoter group as 45% or 48%. So that's your choice. But I will be strictly following my rules that I will consider it only as 50% or greater than 50%. So since it's 48.76, so it's less. So I will stop the analysis of this stock and I will move on to the next stock. Okay, let's color code it red. Next one on the list is Mahasimiles. Okay, I don't know what's the full form of this stock. Let's find out, guys. I'll paste it here. Okay, Maharashtra Seamless Limited. I'll click on the company name right here. I'll go to click on the symbol. It will redirect me to the page of Maharashtra Seamless Limited. I'll go to the corporate information next. Next, I will check the shareholding pattern. Okay, shareholding pattern is greater than 50%, as you all can see. Next one is SAS regulation. Okay, so no selling has been reported in the recent 6 months. So we'll continue the analysis of Maharashtra Seamless Limited. Next, we have to check the pledging. Percentage of pledging is 0%. So now we will move on to our final criteria, and that's an optional criteria, that is earnings per share, and we can view the earnings per share in the financial results tab. So I'll click on to financial results. Earnings per share is positive and it's 9.86. So what our next step is to download the 3 months insider trading report of Maharashtra Seamless Limited only. we can change the time frame from right here. Why I'm considering only the 3 months data is because our aim for this strategy is to make a watch list for swing trading. So that's why I'm considering a time frame of 3 months. Okay, let's go ahead and download the Excel file. Okay, it has been downloaded. I'll open it. Okay, so next step of our analysis would be to categorize the only promoter or promoter groups, and the acquisition should be through market purchase only. As you can see, all the buying reported was by the promoter groups and through the market purchase only. So next step would be to calculate the total number of securities and the total value of securities. Why we are calculating this, as we have to reach at the average price point at which the promoters have made a position in this stock. How we will reach there is by dividing the total value of security by total number of security. Let me just decrease the value number of decimals here. Okay, so as you can see, it's 229.9 rupees. Let's see at what price it is currently trading. Let me just close these Excel files. 229.9. Okay, let me just first mark it 229.9 rupees. I'll color code it as green because it has passed all the parameters. So let's now see at what price this is currently trading. So it's trading at 223.90. So again, our aim is to buy at the price closest to the average price at which the promoters have made a position. So as you can see, it's 223.90. So we can easily calculate that whether or not it falls within the range of plus minus 3% of average price at which the promoters have made a position. Okay, so let's just close it now. And of course, it's going on to my swing trading watch list because it has satisfied all the criteria. Actually, all the stocks in this worksheet, which have been color coded as green, is going to be on my swing trading watch list. Next in the list is Southwest. Let me copy the name. I'll go to the insider trading. I'll paste the name here. It's Southwest Pinnacle Exploration Limited. I'll click on the symbol of Southwest. I'll click on the corporate information. As you can see, this is a very low priced stock, so you might want to check the average traded volume. If it's too low, then you can discard this stock. You can ignore this stock. Let's not force ourselves to make a trade in any stock. So anyways, I'll do the analysis. So the shareholding pattern looks good. It's greater than 50%. Next on the list is SaaS regulation. Okay, so no selling has been reported in the recent 6 months. Let's check the pledging. There is 0% pledging. I'll check the earnings per share, that is optional. Okay, the earnings per share is positive, that's good. So it fulfills all the four criterias. So let me just quickly color code it as green once again. Okay, now the next step is to download the 3 months insider trading report of Southwest itself. So I'll click on the download here. I'll open the Excel file. Okay, now what we have to do is that we need to filter the data, and we just want promoters or promoter groups in this column, and we just want market purchase or inter-se transfer in this column. Okay, so as we can see, no filtering is needed as every uh, filter has already been applied. No rows are needed to be deleted. So we'll just calculate the total number of securities. Okay, I'll just calculate the total number of securities and the total value of securities. Next, what we will do is divide the total value of securities by total number of securities in order to reach a price, in order to reach a average price at which the promoters may have made the position. So the average price comes out to be 21.04. let me just quickly close this file. Okay, 21.04. Okay, let's now check that the Southwest is at what price the Southwest is currently trading. So it's trading at 26.75, so you can easily check that whether it falls or not in the range of plus minus 3%. Okay, let's close this tab. Okay, next stock for the analysis is STEL, STEL. I'll copy it down. I'll move here. I'll paste the company name here. It's STEL Holdings Limited. Okay, next I'll click on the symbol of STEL. Next I'll go to the corporate information. I'll scroll down till the shareholdings pattern tab. Shareholding is good, it's greater than 50%. I'll go to the SAS regulation. Okay, no selling has been reported in the recent 6 months. So it passes this criteria. Next, I'll check the promoter encumbrance. 0% pledging is there. So now we move on to our final and optional criteria of financial results. So earnings per share is also positive. So next what we have to do is we will download the 3 months insider trading report of STEL itself. Now we will open this. Okay, so what we want is the category of person should be promoters or promoter groups in this column, as you can see it very well. And the mode of acquisition should be market purchase and enters, or sometimes it may be inter-se transfer also. So as you can see, no rows needs to be deleted. Next, what we want to do is calculate the average price at which the promoters may have made a position in this stock. So how we'll do that? We will divide the total value of securities by total number of securities. So the average price comes to be somewhere around 61.3. So let me just quickly close this. Okay, so the average price point comes to be 61.3 rupees. Let's just go and check at what price it is currently trading. So look guys, it's trading at 57.85 again. We need to check that whether or not it falls inside the range of plus minus 3%. So if it falls, then we will go to our final checklist that the average traded volume of this particular stock should be good, and we are ready to make a position in this stock. So okay, so next on the list is, okay, first I need to color code it as green. Next on the list is Orient Bell. I'll copy it down. I'll paste it in the company name, Orient Bell Limited. I'll click on the symbol of Orient Bell. I'll click on the corporate information. I'll go to the shareholding patterns. Okay, shareholding pattern is greater than 50%. So next one we have to check is, let's check pledging. Pledging is 0%. Let's check that whether or not there has been any selling in the recent 6 months. Okay, all looks good till here. Okay, so no selling has been reported in the latest 6 months. So now we go back to our financial results. Financial results, as you can see, the latest report, the latest earnings per share reported to the NSC's website is negative. Now it's your decision that whether or not you want to take this into consideration or you want to ignore the fact that earnings per share is negative. Since I am a conservative trader, then I will consider the earnings per share also. I want it a positive number. So since it's negative, I'll color code it as red. Next on the list is Asiana. I'll copy it. I'll go to the insider trading tab once again. I'll paste it down here. Asiana Housing Limited. I'll click on the symbol of Asiana. I will now go to the corporate information. Let's check pledging. No pledging is done in this. Next, I'll check the selling. So, okay, no selling has been reported in the recent 6 months. Next, let's check the shareholding pattern. Okay, shareholding pattern also looks good because it is greater than 50%. The last one I would check is the financial results. Okay, so the latest earnings per share reported is negative. So I'll go ahead and discard this stock. Next one on the list is NB Ventures. I will quickly just Nava Bharat Ventures Limited. I'll click on NB Ventures. Okay, next I want to check the corporate information. I'll first check the promoter encumbrance. 0% pledging looks good. SAS regulation. Okay, so as you can see, on 1st of September 2020, there has been a selling reported of this much quantity by Advanced Series Trust. So again, it's a institutional investor, I suppose. So it doesn't matter who has sold, since we can see that some quantity has been sold. So we will just color code it as red once again. Next one, I'll copy it down. I'll paste it right here. It's Apar Industries Limited. I'll click on the symbol of Apar Industries. Next, I'll check the corporate information. Let me just check the SAS regulation first. Okay, so as you can see, no selling has been reported in the recent 6 months. Next, I want to check the pledging. Pledging is 0%, passes the criteria. Next, I want to check the shareholding of this promoter and promoter groups. This should be greater than 50% and it fulfills the criteria because it's 59.69. The last one is an optional parameter, that is financial results. Earnings per share is negative. If you are not a conservative trader, you can just ignore this criteria. But since I am a conservative trader, I'll take this earnings per share into consideration and I will color code it as red. Next on the list is BLS. Let's close this one. I will paste the BLS into company name, BLS International Services Limited. Next, I'll click on the symbol of BLS. So it quickly directed me to the page of the BLS. I'll go to the corporate information next. I'll check the promoter encumbrance. 0% pledging is there. It looks good. SAS regulation. Okay, so there is no record of any buying or selling on the NSC's website. Now there are two options. First option would be to check on to a third party website about the buying or selling in the recent 6 months, but I won't do that and I would not suggest that. But and the second option would be to just ignore the fact and just color code it as red and don't do the further analysis on this stock. Okay, so it's up to you that which option you would want to go with. So I trust only the NSC's website, so that's why I will color code this stock as red. That means it is not going to my swing trading watch list. Next on the list is Ultra Semco. I'll copy it. I'll paste it here. Ultratech Cement Limited. I'll click on the symbol of Ultra Semco. I'll go to the corporate information. As you can see once again that this stock is a little pricey. So some of us may have a small account or small margin or a low capital just like me. So they would want to ignore buying such highly priced stocks. But for the sake of analysis, I will go ahead and do the analysis of Ultra Semco. Let me go to the corporate information. I'll click on the shareholding pattern. 60.04 looks good. Next is SAS regulation. Okay, so yeah, no selling has been reported in the recent 6 months. I'll check the pledging. Pledging is 0%. Next, we'll check the financial results. Again, that is optional. So earnings per share is quite good and it's a positive number. So it's passing all the four parameters. Okay, next step, we all know that I have to download the 3 months insider trading report of Ultra Semco only. So I'll go ahead and quickly open this. Okay, we only want the promoters and promoter groups in the category of persons column. This I have explained repeatedly again and again. So I'll just go ahead and delete this row number 8 as it contains the director as the category of person. We don't want that. Next we want is the mode of acquisition should only be market purchase, nothing other than that. As you can see, there is market sale in all the rows. I'll just go ahead and delete all those rows. So we are left with only one row. So what we have to do next, we all know that we will divide the total number of securities divided by total value of securities by total number of securities in order to reach a price point at in order to reach the average price point, to be very accurate, at which the promoters may have made a position in this stock. So as you can see, it comes out to be 3770.97. Let me just copy it down and I'll paste it right here. Okay, it gives me a value error 3770.90. Okay, let me just double check it. Yeah, 3770.97 it is. Okay, 377.97. Okay, so now let's check that at what price it's currently trading, so that we can see that whether or not it falls in the range of plus minus 3% of the average price at which the promoters have made a position. As you can see, it's currently trading at 3857. Using very basic calculations, you can easily calculate that whether or not it falls in the range of plus minus 3%. So our aim is to make a position in this stock closest to this price point, 3700.97. Okay, 3770.97, sorry. Next on the list is Philatex. I will copy it quickly. I will paste it in the company name, Philatex India Limited. I'll click on the symbol of Philatex. I'll go to the corporate information. I will check the shareholding patterns. So in the shareholding patterns, you can see it's greater than 50%. Next, I will check the pledging. Okay, so as you can see, the pledging is 36.51%, and according to my rules, I only take those stocks into consideration which have a pledging of 0%. So, okay, I'll go ahead and color code it as red. Next on the list is Captrust. I'll quickly copy paste it down here. Capital Trust Limited. I'll click on the symbol of Captrust. It will redirect us to the page of Captrust. I'll go to the corporate information next. Let's check the pledging. Pledging is 0%. Let's check the selling. Okay, no selling has been reported in the recent 6 months. It's 27 September 2019, not 27 September 2020. So keep a closer look on the dates. Okay, shareholding we have done. Yeah, shareholding is greater than 50%, as you can see. Next we want to check is the earnings per share, that is an optional, and the last parameter. Earnings per share is not reported for this. So yeah, but earnings per share has been reported here, that is 0.56, so it's a positive number. So I will color code it as green. But before color coding it as green, let me just quickly download the 3 months insider trading report of Captrust only. So I will go ahead and download it. Now we only want the promoters or promoter groups in the category of persons in this column, and we only want the mode of acquisition as a market purchase. Next step would be to calculate the total number of securities and the total value of securities. Sorry. So yeah, the total number of securities and the total value of securities. So to reach at the price point at which the promoters may have made the position, the average price point to be accurate, we will divide the total value of securities by total number of securities. Let me just quickly decrease the number of decimals. So it's 86.3 rupees. So I'll just quickly record it. It's 86.3 rupees. Next, what we have to do is we will check that the price at which Captrust is currently trading. So it's trading at 61.50. It's way below 86, way below from the price of 86.30 rupees. So we can, what we can do is I will just keep this stock in my watch list for now, and then I will study the charts of this stock. In the next parts, I will also show that how to finally make a position in the stocks. There are few criterias, few nitty-gritty left for this strategy in order to make the final buy, to make the final buy call in the stocks. This is what we are doing here is just we are making the watch list, but just making the watch list does not mean that I'm going to buy all the shares uh, in the stocks which are currently present in my watch list. So there are few nitty-gritties left, and that I will explain it to you in the further parts. So stay tuned for that, and do subscribe my channel if you are liking what I am doing here. So okay, so uh, let me just close this tab. Next on the list is Star Cement. I'll copy this down. I'll go here. I'll paste the company name. It's Star Cement Limited. Okay, yeah. So next I'll click on the symbol of Star Cement. I'll go to the corporate information section. I will, let me just first check the pledging. Pledging is 0%. I'll check the selling. Okay, so as you can see on 3rd September 2020, there has been a selling reported by Sajjan Bhajanka along with PAC. So it falls in the recent 6 months period. So we will just have to discard this stock. Next on the list is NSCL. Okay, I'll copy it down. I'll paste it in the company name. It's NCL Industries Limited. I'll click here. I'll click on the symbol of NSCL, NCL, and NCL. Okay. Next, I'll go to the corporate information. Next, I'll check the shareholding pattern. Shareholding pattern is less than 50%, so no point of doing further analysis. So I'll just color code it as red. Next is BLISS GVS. I'll copy it. I'll paste it in the company name right here. Sorry. Yeah. BLISS GVS Pharma Limited. I'll click on the symbol of BLISS GVS. I'll go to the corporate information of BLISS GVS. I want to check the, let's first check the SAS regulations. Okay, no recent selling has been reported. I'll check the pledging. Pledging is 0%. Shareholding pattern. Okay, shareholding pattern is less than 50%. So any of the four criterias, if it fails to pass any of the four criterias, then we have to discard it. And okay, let me just repeat that financial results in an optional, and you may or you may ignore this earnings per share sometimes. Okay, I'll color code it as red. Next on the list is Britannia. I'll copy it. I'll paste it in the company name. It's Britannia Industries Limited. Okay, I'll click on the symbol of Britannia. Okay, again you can see it's a quite pricey stock, so if you have a small account you may not want to do the analysis on this stock, or you may be reluctant in buying this stock, since let me just share my personal opinion that I have a small trading account of just 30,000, so I prefer not to invest more than 2,000 rupees in one particular stock. So personally speaking, I would not do the analysis of this stock, but for the sake of making the video, I'll just quickly do the analysis. I'll go to the corporate information. I'll check the pledging percentage is 0%, looks good. SAS regulation, okay, no recent selling has been reported in the last 6 months. Shareholding pattern, it is greater than 50%. The last one is an optional, that is earnings per share. We can find the earnings per share in the financial results tab right here. earnings per share is positive. So next step, we all know that we have to download the 3 months insider trading report of Britannia only. And what we want is that we just want the promoters or promoter groups who have bought the share through market purchase. We will delete all except promoter and promoter groups. As you can see in this column, there are directors, so we have to delete the rows which contains director. So let me just quickly go ahead and delete them. Okay, I deleted them. Next, what we want is the mode of acquisition should only be through market purchase, or sometimes the inter-se transfer could be included. So, okay, next step is to calculate the total number of securities and the total value of securities in order to reach at the average price point at which the promoters may have made a position in this stock. So I'll divide the total value of securities by total number of securities. We reach to a price of 3457.8 rupees approximately. So let me just quickly 3457.8. Okay, 3457.8 rupees. Oh, sorry, 3457.8. Okay, now the next step is to check the current trading price of this one. So we all can see it's 3643. So we can quickly check that whether or not this price falls in the range of plus minus 3% by very basic calculations. So I will not do this I'll not do that calculation right now. I'll surely do those calculations while I'm making the final buy call in the particular stock. Also, I'll check the average traded volume. So stay tuned for the next part. I'll explain all those things in the next part of the video. So, okay, let me just color code. Let me just first close this worksheet. Okay, I'll color code this as a green. So next in the list is MMP. I'll quickly download it. Okay, guys. Okay, friends. I think there has been an error while I was copying the symbol name from the Excel sheet we downloaded in the first part of the video. What was the filtering process in the first part of the video from where I copied all the symbols is that the promoters or promoter groups should have purchased the stock through market purchase, and the value which they invested in their stocks should be at least 1 crore or should be greater than 1 crore. But what I can see here is that I accidentally downloaded all the symbol names. So we don't have to worry much because still NCC lend in every stock above that the promoters have bought shares through market purchase which was worth 1 crore or more than 1 crore. So we have just analyzed two extra stocks which we were not supposed to do the analysis on, but it's all right. So let me just quickly go ahead and delete all the rows below NCC lend. Okay, yeah, so I've deleted those. Let me just quickly format paint it. Yeah, so okay guys, so this is the end of the part 3 of this series. I have now every stock every stock in this worksheet which has been color coded as green is going to stay on my swing trading watch list. And before making the final buying position or before making the final buy call, there is some one or two more filters that I need to apply. So they are not very clearly defined. So I will sometimes manipulate them. So stay tuned to watch the part 4 of this series, where I'll make the final buy or sell signal. Buy or sorry, this strategy does not give us a selling call. It just gives us a buying signal. So stay tuned to see the final buy signals which this strategy will give. Stay tuned for the fourth video or the fourth part of this series. Until then, please subscribe, like and share my channel if you are liking, if you are enjoying, and if you think what I am doing here is useful to you by any means. So thank you for watching this video for so long. So thank you, and stay tuned for the fourth part of this series.